Donald Trump, the man who never gave up. Who is Donald Trump? Donald Trump was born on June 14, 1946. He is from Queens, New York City. He is a famous businessman and a former president of the United States. People around the world know his name. Donald's life is very interesting. He started as a businessman. He worked in real estate and built many big buildings. Later, he became a TV star. Many people liked his show called The Apprentice. In 2016, he became the President of the United States. Donald Trump is a man with big ideas. He always says, "Think big." He worked hard to make his dreams come true. His story shows how one person can change their life and make a difference. In this story, you will learn about his life. You will read about his family, his work, and his time as president. Let's start the journey to understand Donald Trump's life. Early life and family. Donald Trump was born into a big family. His father, Fred Trump, was a successful businessman. Fred built houses for families in New York. He worked very hard and taught his children to do the same. Donald's mother, Mary, was kind and loved her children very much. Donald had 4 siblings, 2 brothers and 2 sisters. His family was rich, but Fred made sure his children learned the value of work. Donald was a smart and confident boy, but he sometimes got into trouble. When Donald was 13 years old, his parents sent him to a military school. The school was called New York Military Academy. Here, Donald learned discipline and leadership. He liked sports and worked hard to be the best. Donald's childhood was not always easy, but it shaped who he became. His father's lessons about business and hard work stayed with him. At a young age, Donald dreamed of becoming a great businessman like his father. Business dreams begin. After high school, Donald went to college. He studied at Fordham University for 2 years and then transferred to the Wharton School of Business at the University of Pennsylvania. Wharton is one of the best business schools in the world. Donald graduated in 1968. He joined his father's business, which was called Elizabeth Trump and Son. At first, Donald worked on small housing projects. But he had bigger dreams. He wanted to build big buildings in New York City. In the 1970s, Donald started working on his first big project, turning an old hotel into a beautiful new one. This hotel was called the Grand Hyatt Hotel. The project was a big success, and people started to notice Donald Trump. Donald wanted to make his name famous. He decided to use the name Trump as a brand. He built skyscrapers, hotels, and casinos. One of his most famous buildings is Trump Tower in New York City. Donald's business grew very fast. He became rich and famous. But his road to success was not always easy. Success and challenges in business. Donald Trump became a very famous businessman in the 1980s. He built many tall buildings, hotels, and casinos. His name, Trump, was everywhere. People saw it on buildings, books, and even airplanes. Donald loved to show that he was successful. One of his most famous projects was Trump Tower in New York City. Trump Tower is a big skyscraper with shiny glass windows. It is on 5th Avenue, a very famous street. Many rich and important people worked and lived there. This building made Donald even more famous. Donald also built casinos in a place called Atlantic City. Many people went there to play games and have fun. His casinos made a lot of money at first. But not everything was easy for Donald. In the 1990s, he had big problems. Some of his projects lost money. He had to sell many things to pay his debts. People thought his career was over. Donald did not give up. He said, "I never quit. I fight back." He worked hard to rebuild his business. In time, he became rich and famous again. Donald's story shows that even when life gets hard, you can try again. He believed in himself and his dreams. A star on TV. In 2004, Donald Trump became famous for something new: television. He started a show called The Apprentice. This was a reality TV show about business. People on the show wanted to work for Donald Trump. Each week, Donald gave them challenges. The show was very exciting. Contestants worked hard to show their skills. If they failed, Donald would look at them and say, "You're fired." This became a very famous phrase. People loved watching Donald as the boss. The Apprentice made Donald even more famous. Millions of people watched the show every week. He showed his confidence and love for success. Donald also used the show to grow his brand. The name Trump became even more powerful. Later, Donald created a new version of the show called The Celebrity Apprentice. This time, famous people joined the show to raise money for charity. It was also a big hit. The success of his TV shows gave Donald more attention. People saw him as a strong leader who knew how to make big decisions. This helped him when he decided to try something new: politics. Entering politics. In 2015, Donald Trump surprised many people. He said he wanted to run for President of the United States. He had never worked in politics before. Most presidents were lawyers or had government jobs. But Donald was a businessman and a TV star. Donald's campaign was very different. He talked about big changes. His slogan was, "Make America Great Again." He promised to help American workers build a strong economy and protect the country. Many people liked his ideas. Donald's speeches were bold. He spoke directly to the people. He said what he thought, even if it made some people angry. This made him popular with many voters, but it also caused debates. Some people loved him, and some did not agree with him. In 2016, Donald Trump ran against Hillary Clinton, a former Secretary of State. It was a tough election. Many people thought Hillary would win because she had a lot of experience. But Donald's message reached many Americans. On November 8, 2016, Donald Trump won the election. He became the 45th President of the United States. It was a big moment in American history. Donald Trump showed that anyone, even someone outside of politics, could become president if they worked hard and believed in their vision. Donald Trump as president. On January 20, 2017, Donald Trump became the President of the United States. He took the oath at the U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C. His family was there to support him. Many people watched the event on TV. As president, Donald Trump wanted to make big changes. He worked on these main ideas. Donald lowered taxes for businesses. He said this would help companies grow and create more jobs. He wanted more factories to stay in the US instead of moving to other countries. Donald promised to build a wall on the border with Mexico. He said this would stop illegal immigration and keep the country safe. He changed trade agreements to help American workers and farmers. Donald made fast decisions. Some people liked his ideas, but others disagreed. Many of his policies caused debates. In 2020, something very serious happened: the COVID-19 pandemic. It was a big challenge for Donald as president. The virus spread quickly, and many people got sick. Donald worked on vaccines and gave money to businesses to help them survive. During his presidency, Donald also faced strong criticism. The media often reported on his words and actions. Some people thought he was too direct, while others admired his boldness. Donald Trump's time as president was full of challenges and achievements. He left a strong mark on American history. Life after the presidency. In January 2021, Donald Trump's time as president ended. He left the White House and returned to his home in Florida. His home is called Mar-a-Lago. It is a big and beautiful place near the beach. After being president, Donald stayed active. He continued to talk about politics and his ideas. He spoke at big events and rallies. Many people still supported him and believed in his message. Donald also started new projects. He focused on growing his business again. The Trump Organization continued to work on hotels, golf courses, and real estate. Even after politics, Donald stayed busy as a businessman. Donald used social media to share his thoughts. However, some platforms stopped him from posting because his messages caused debates. Later, Donald helped create his own social media platform called Truth Social. This allowed him to connect with his supporters directly. Many people wondered if Donald would run for president again. He did not give a clear answer right away. Instead, he said, "We will see what happens." Donald's life after the presidency showed his energy and determination. Even after leaving the White House, he stayed in the spotlight. His story continues, inspiring people who believe in chasing their dreams and never giving up. Donald Trump's second presidency. In 2024, Donald Trump ran for president of the United States again. He told the American people, "Our work is not finished." Many people supported him because they believed in his ideas and leadership. The election was very competitive. Donald faced strong opponents, but he stayed focused on his message. He promised to create more jobs, make the economy stronger, and protect the country. His slogan this time was "Make America Great Again, Again." On Election Day, millions of Americans voted. The results were close, but Donald Trump won. He became the 47th President of the United States. It was a historic moment because not many people have served to non-consecutive terms as president. During his 2020 campaign, Donald Trump focused on the promises he made during his first term. He talked about rebuilding the economy, creating more jobs, and strengthening relationships with other countries. He also focused on key issues like healthcare, national security, and immigration reform. Donald Trump's campaign showed his determination and leadership. He said, The American people gave me this chance, and I will not let them down. His supporters were excited and felt proud, believing that his second term could bring more success. His name continued to be a powerful symbol in American politics. Donald Trump's family and personal life. Donald Trump's family is very important to him. He has 5 children from 3 marriages. His first wife was Ivana Trump. She was a businesswoman and helped Donald with his projects. They had 3 children together, Donald Jr., Ivanka, and Eric. Donald Jr., Ivanka, and Eric followed in their father's footsteps. They work in the Trump Organization and help manage the family business. Ivanka also worked in the White House when Donald was president. Donald's second wife was Marla Maples. They had 1 daughter named Tiffany. Tiffany studied law and often supports her father during big events. Donald's current wife is Melania Trump. She is a former model and was the first lady when Donald was president. Melania is from Slovenia, and she speaks many languages. Together, they have 1 son named Barron Trump. Barron is the youngest child in the family and is still in school. Donald enjoys spending time with his family. They often celebrate holidays and special events together at Mar-a-Lago. His children and grandchildren are a big part of his life. Even though Donald is very busy, he makes time for hobbies. He loves playing golf and is very good at it. He owns many golf courses and likes to visit them. Golf helps him relax and think about new ideas. Donald's family and personal life show another side of him. Behind the businessman and leader, he is also a father, husband, and grandfather who cares deeply about the people close to him.